Welcome to my channel. In this channel, we are going to talk about creepypasta stories and incidents. So this first story, it's from a guy who lives in Delhi. When I read his story, I did feel a little uncomfortable. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. So let's begin the story. Silence is never actually silent. If you listen close enough, I mean real close, there is a hum, a vibration. Most people call it background noise. Scientists call it cosmic microwave background radiation. I call it the sound of something trying to get in. I worked night shift at a motel for 3 years. It was beside a highway, nothing too special. Everything was well. We had 12 rooms, 4 staffs. We only ever used 11. Room 402 was permanently under renovation. The door was painted in a different color than others, and the handle had been removed. It was empty and barren. Our manager was a skeleton man named Hamilton. He had one rule: if you hear the TV in 402, don't knock, don't look back, just turn up the radio at the front of the desk and wait for the sun to rise. For 2 years, I followed that rule. But on Tuesday, in October, the wind was screaming across the plains, and the power grid was flickering. At 3:14 a.m., the lobby went pitch black. The background generator knocked in with a gnarl, providing just enough juice to keep the emergency light dim and orange. That's when I heard it. It wasn't the wind, it was the distant, rhythmic hiss of a white noise, a hum. It was coming from down the hall, from room 402. I told myself it was just a power surge, must have tripped the old TV on inside the room. I was bored, and the curiosity I had suppressed for years finally broke. I grabbed my heavy flashlight and walked down the hall. The carpet felt dumb under my foot. As I approached room 402, the static got louder. It wasn't just a hiss anymore. It sounded like a voice underwater. Thousands of them, all whispering different numbers at once. I reached the door. There was no handle, remember? Just a smooth hole where it used to be. I leaned in. The smell hit me first. It smelled like ozone and old, wet copper. I pressed my eyes to the hole where the handle had been, closing my nose with my hands. Inside, the room was empty. No bed, no dressers, just a single old fashioned TV set sitting in the center of the floor. It wasn't plugged in the wall, there was no wire around it, but the screen was alive, pulsing with a grey, flickering light that seemed to suck the color out of the room. And then the static shifted. The grey dots on the screen began to form shape. I watched. Fear took over, paralyzed, as the pulsating static changed into picture. It was a live feed of a hallway, a motel hallway. I saw a man standing in front of a door. He was holding a flashlight. He was wearing a blue windbreaker with stitched on his pocket. It was me. I was watching myself from inside the room. In the video, I saw myself lean in close to the door. But then I saw something I couldn't feel. Behind the video version of me, a shadow was beginning to peel itself off the wall. It was tall, impossibly tall, with weird limbs. I tried to pull away from the door in real life, but I couldn't move. It was like the static had a magnetic pull. My eyes was like glued to the hole. On the screen, the tall shadow placed a hand. You can say it placed its hand on my shoulder. In the real world, I felt a coldness so intense it felt like my skin was cracking. The me on the TV screen turned around, but it wasn't my face anymore. My features had been replaced by that same flickering grey static. The mouth of the screen opened, and instead of a scream, the room speaker where they were blasted a sound so loud it made my ears bleed. It was a sound of a billion dead frequencies. Let us in, the static man whispered. I finally, I finally found the strength to scream and throw myself back. I hit my elbow to the floor. I scrambled down the hall, my heart humming against my ribs like a trapped bird. I didn't stop until I reached the lobby. I grabbed my keys, jumped in my car, and drove. I didn't even look back to see if the owner was watching. I moved 3 states away. I don't work night shifts anymore. I don't even own a TV. But here's the thing, sometimes when the house is too quiet, I hear it. It starts from the back of my skull, that faint rhythmic hiss, the faint rhythmic hum. And every time I look in the mirror, I see my eyes look just a little bit grey, a little more grey. I think room 402 didn't just want me to watch, it wanted to be watched. Because as long as you're looking at the static, you're giving it a place to stay. So, my dear friends, if you're watching this right now and you hear a faint humming coming from the corner of your room, don't look. Whatever you do, don't look at the screen.